What is going down in Groovetown, every people? Welcome to Friday Riffs with the Mad Poet. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. This is what we do. Looks like I've got like 40 or 50 people have tuned in on Nemo. If you're watching from Nemo, thank you very much. I don't normally get a lot of viewers from there. Feel free to engage if you are so inclined. Feel free to just watch and listen if you are so inclined. I see that we have Obscure Mysticism Cults tuning in from YouTube as per usual. Riff Master General reporting for duty. Happy Friday. Right back at you, Obscure. Also, Therese is in from YouTube, and it looks like she has a broken finger that she's been getting surgery on. That really sucks. Whenever I hear about injuries to the hands, I'm just kind of like, it's a very frightening place for me to be. So I hope you are doing well. Everyone out there, wherever you're tuning in from Facebook, from Trovo, from DLive, from Nino, Nomo, Vaughn, VK, Picardo, Africa, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're coming in from, thank you very much for being here. Greatly appreciated. Obscure Mysticism Cults is pretty impressive not to realize that she'd had a broken finger. Yeah, that is kind of impressive. That's true. So what do we got going on here? So we just played a song called The First Excursus. And that song is dedicated to my buddy John. For regular viewers, you will know that on every album I do, I dedicate at least one song to someone that I know, someone that I like. And that particular song is dedicated to John Stevenson, who is an author. John, I don't know if you made it in tonight. I let John know just earlier this afternoon that we're playing, but I know he's also, a busy guy out doing, being an adult. Sucks to be an adult, doesn't it? But John is kind of the reason we're here. For those that, I don't even know if Obscure Mysticism Cults has heard this story before. I know Therese has. And it looks like we do have some new viewers out there. So this is kind of an important story. I was doing a series of shows at a local coffee shop. And I was just kind of sitting. It weren't really even shows. I was just kind of playing background music. I was just sitting in the corner. I had my red guitar that you can barely see there. And I would just kind of sit back there and play some kind of improvisational, slightly jazzy, slightly folk sounding stuff. Just me with the guitar. And John would come along and he would watch these and sit and work on his writing while I was playing music. And one day he dares me to sing a Taylor Swift song. Now, I'm not much of a singer. Again, my regular viewers know I don't do a lot in the way of actual singing, but I'm working on it. So he dares me to sing a Taylor Swift song. I say, hey, pick it out. And so he dares me to sing Teardrops on My Guitar. Well, I realized after I listened to the song that Taylor was kind of young when she wrote that. And she didn't realize how much bloodshed and battle-based imagery should be in a song like that. So I updated the song a bit. And the whole thing required me to bring in some extra equipment so I could have a microphone and this and that. And I wrote some backing tracks. And from that branched out me doing those shows more regularly as more of a show instead of just sitting in the background. And that led to me writing all of my albums because it kind of worked me into a process for rapid fire music composition. And that led indirectly to me putting out 64 albums at this point, which is pretty weird for me still just to say that I've released 64 albums. It's like, really? That's a lot of music. So that kind of goes out to John. And he's just an awesome guy. He's super cool. John, I hope you made it tonight. If not, wherever you are, man, I hope you're doing awesome. But that song is going out to him. Now, I also need to talk about Michael, who goes by Empty Labs on Twitch. Oh, it looks like my parents have come in. Welcome, Mom and Dad. Thanks for being here. So Michael is a student of mine. And last night we were talking in his lesson about different music theory concepts, and I actually pointed to that song I just played, the first Excursus, and talked about the key change that I did in there and why I did it the way I did, and how it's usually a very abrupt key change. I go from B minor to C minor. And we talked about the relationship between those scales and how I wanted to basically have this, what is normally very abrupt key change, and make it as smooth as possible. And interestingly, just as I was practicing this earlier today, I realized that if I jump to a D minor scale during the transition, it actually smooths it out even further. So now I got to sit and look at the relationship of both of those scales to the D minor and work out how I've got a pretty good idea what's going on. I was like, hey, that's kind of a cool little trick I just found there to get in between those. I love finding that kind of stuff with music theory. Anyway, hey, I'm just yakking now, just talking about stuff. So again, wherever you're coming in from, thank you very much for being here. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Today we're playing my 7th album. It's called Parentheticals. This next song's got a little bit of a lead into it. The song is called But I Digress. get some F minor action in that. And I just want to put in a little warning here. We have been having some storms today. It sounds like I got a little bit of thunder outside right now. If this thing just kind of shuts down, it's probably because my power went out. We've got a pretty robust electrical system here. We don't have very many power outages, so probably we'll be safe, but it's kind of a fair warning for those out there. It is a possibility tonight that this could go out on us, in which case it's time to get out the acoustic guitar and just play for myself. Or, maybe I get out the antique sewing machine and work on some sewing. I've been doing a bit of sewing lately. I've got a pair of jeans I've been finishing up and making some other stuff. I want to get back into making some more of my own shirts. I haven't made any of my own shirts for a while. I think I've only got 2 shirts that I've made. The vest is my work. I don't think I've bought a pair of jeans in like 14 years. I love sewing. Sewing is a really interesting thing to me because its impact on humanity is undeniable. But we never have to think about it at all. It's just this thing that's there. But I mean, it's all the clothes we wear, your purses and handbags and wallets and backpacks and your couches and chairs and the seats in your car and, your reusable grocery bags and your watch straps and, belts and, it's just all your shower curtains. All of this stuff is sewn, and we never ever think about sewing. It's something I think more people should do a little bit of it, because it just really kind of gives you an appreciation for what goes into everything that you have. I like it. My mother is a seamstress from, her whole life. And that's kind of where I picked up a lot of it. But yeah, so if power goes out, that's probably what I'll be doing. Should be good. Either acoustic guitar, maybe a bit of both. But I won't be using this computer, that's for sure. All right. So for anyone that's coming in new tonight, thank you very much for being here. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, you like what you smell, feel free to check out themadpoet.net, as you can clearly see on this guitar pick. Actually, I should get my cameras going correctly here. Themadpoet.net is kind of a repository of all things Mad Poet. All 64 of my albums are available to stream on there for free. You got YouTube videos of them. There's also links to my Bandcamp, Noise Trade, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. All of my stuff you can pretty much get to from there. So check it out if you are so inclined. If you are not so inclined, then, don't. That's it. Obscure Mysticism Cult says that they've never heard that story before about the kind of the origin story of all my rapid fire music. It's a fun story, and I'm glad it happened, because I've just gotten so much just knowledge out of it. The amount of learning that I have done while making all of this music in such a short time is pretty crazy, and and that I've got all of this stuff together to do these shows with is, of course, extremely cool. So yeah, just the whole thing has been great, and I owe a very big thanks to John for daring me to sing a Taylor Swift song and leading to all of this. Like I said, we're playing my 7th album tonight. It is called Parentheticals. This next song, I want to say it generally plays with a bit of a bluesy feel. It's in G minor. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure exactly what this is going to sound like. This song is called Contentless Cognition. Contentless Cognition by the Mad Poet, who looks a lot like me. His next piece is called Infelicitous Results, and I've spoken before in between songs, and of course a lot with my students, about the fact that I've written some music I don't like. And I think it's, as a creator of whatever, you're an artist, a painter, a photographer, a sculptor, an author, musician, a crop circle creator, whatever it is, you should be a fan of your own work. I like to think of myself as a fan of the music of the Mad Poet. When I write music, I want to write music that I'm going to enjoy listening to. And for the most part, I do. And there are certainly some misses in there. You do 64 albums, you're probably going to miss on a few songs. And this is one that it's always interesting to me, because Infelicitous Results, which we're about to play, is a song that I personally have never cared for all that much. But even though I don't think I did a very good job on this, I have typically only had positive comments about it. Other people have enjoyed the song, and so that's part of where I think it's a really good idea to put things out, even if you don't think they're great. Just kind of checking here. There's a whole bunch of people that have entered the chat on Nemo. I don't see any actual comments, and that's totally okay. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone here. I don't like to, if anyone ever has questions, I do like to answer them and interact where I can. So we're going to play this song, and we'll see what you guys think. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll think it's the worst piece of garbage you've ever heard anywhere. I don't know. I don't think it's the worst piece of garbage I've ever made. That is off. That is a song called "The Battle Hymn of the Fallen Warrior." That's my least favorite of all my songs. But this is one I feel like I missed on. Hopefully you guys don't feel the same way. Hope you enjoy it. This is called Infelicitous Results. Infelicitous results by the Mad Poet. The Mad Poet is me. Drink your water, gangsters. Water's the best thing going out there. Oh, I love me some water. Yesterday I did not drink enough water, and then I went and ran 7 miles, and I kind of paid the price on that one. It was definitely not the way I should have done it. Just realizing here, I need to make a quick little change in my system that I did not do. Turn that off. Turn this on. That should work. If it doesn't, not a big deal. Everything should be okay there. Oh, nonetheless, for anyone who may be unfamiliar with my shows, may be unfamiliar with what we do here, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. We are playing my 7th album today. It's called Parentheticals. Moving into the 5th song here. This is called Failure to Reconcile. This song is very heavily based around the concept of a triplet, which in music are kind of more common rhythmic pattern, like 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we kind of break everything up into twos. This is like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, so we have everything broken up into threes. And that's kind of what I based this song around. I feel like it's got a kind of a fun feel to it. I also felt like I should have had something else to say about it, and clearly that was not the case. And that's what happens when you're the Mad Poet and you don't know what you're doing and you're just kind of winging it, which is how my whole life flows. And which is why you sometimes end up with a failure to reconcile. I see Julie has joined us from Facebook. That's John's mom, who I was talking about earlier. Julie, I hope you heard me bragging about your awesome son, because as I mentioned here earlier, without him, probably wouldn't be doing all this. It was his dare that led to pretty much a lot of my music happening, and I owe him a big debt of gratitude. And Julie, John's mom, is also a very awesome person. She used to come watch me at Starbucks doing those coffee shop shows all the time, and she's seen me play quite a few times. And Miss Sarah's here. Sarah, thanks for coming in. So I've got a fairly good YouTube presence tonight. I've got a very big Nemo presence tonight, and some Facebook. Haven't seen any. My parents are on Twitch, so we've got some people coming in from all over the place. Greatly appreciated. And that leads us to a very important thing we need to talk about. My regulars probably already know where I'm going with this, because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. As I've said before, particularly for the newer viewers out there, if people were to judge me based on my song and album titles, they would probably get the wrong idea of the kind of person I am. This is a good example of that. This song in G sharp minor is called An Elegant Expression of Hatred. G sharp minor, always a good thing to do. I see Julie is tuning in from Facebook. Julie, if you're still out there, Sarah says hello. I'm fairly sure that the people on Facebook cannot see the chat from the people on YouTube and Twitch. It's kind of weird how the chat is. I've got like, I think 7 of my websites that I go to are in one chat box, except Facebook is its own kind of special universe there. And then 4 other websites I've got in another monitor for the chat. And then there's a website called Africa TV that I chat to. And if you're tuning in from Africa TV, if you are trying to get my attention in chat, my apologies, I am unable to see that. That's just kind of the way it works out. So yes, nonetheless, Julie, if you're still out there, Sarah says hello. I'm fairly, I don't know, I'd have to look on Facebook. The whole restream multicast thing is kind of weird, but that's what we deal with if you want to do that, and I do. So there you go. I also want to drink some water, because yeah. All right. So now we're going to move into a little bit of F sharp minor. Looks like we're going to slow it down a little bit here. Switching the guitar over to the old neck pickup because I want to. Little different sound out of a guitar depending on which pickup you use, which kind of configuration you've got in your setup. A little kind of a smoother sound. Like I said, we're slowing down a little bit, getting some F sharp minor. This song is called Hanging by a Thread. right. I'm the Mad Poet. You're not. You're an audience. I'm not. Playing my 7th album tonight. Feel like I should have had something really witty to say after that song, and I don't. There you go. It's exciting, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, the monologue flows in between songs, and sometimes it's this. So I should just shut up and play another song. And ironically, this song is titled, I Had a Thought. already forget the name of that song. I do that all the time. It's another one that my regulars will know all about, is me forgetting the names of songs. I know the name of the next song, but that's because it's written on my screen as my sheet music scrolls by. And that's the only reason I know it. We're going to slow it down here. We got 2 songs left tonight. We got a slow one and then a very nice, fast one to polish the night off with. So we're moving on into the show. Thank you again, everyone, very much for coming in. I really enjoy doing this. I hope that people are enjoying watching, listening, and smelling my show out there. Again, go to themadpoet.net as written very clearly on this guitar pick. And that's a repository of all things Mad Poet. As I said, we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're getting some D minor action on this piece. And this song is called That Depends on You. All right, gang. One song left of the night. And this is one of my favorite songs to play. The song is called Final Deviation, and this is kind of a musical shout out to one of my favorite bands of all time, a band called Camelot. Camelot is spelled with a K instead of the more commonly spelled Camelot with a C. They're a brilliant band, power metal, love what they do. I've seen them live twice, got to meet them once, very cool. A friend of mine bought VIP tickets for a meet and greet with them during one of their shows. And so I got a picture with them with my classical guitar and just really like what they do. So I just kind of decided to write a song kind of almost tribute-ish toward Camelot. It's kind of in the Camelot style. If you know the band Camelot, this song will likely feel comfortable to you if you like what they do. Hopefully you like what I do. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for being here. This is the final song of the evening. See you on the other side. That's all I've got for the evening. Thank you very much. That was awesome. That was a very fun show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you very much for being here again. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. If you like what you saw, like what you heard, like what you smelled, go check out themadpoet.net, the repository of all things Mad Poet. I will, of course, be back next Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. in the Pacific time zone. Feel free to adjust for your own time zone as necessary if you are, in fact, so inclined to do so. There could be random streams in between now and then. Time will tell. I have been posting a little more on my Discord. Last Friday I said I'm going to try to post every day on my Discord. I think I hit 3 of the days, so I'm getting better. trying to be a little more active on Discord. I did put up a picture of the new album cover for the 65th album. I've also put up a full score for the album. So the entire sheet music for the new album is available as a PDF download for free. So if you want to go to the Discord, you can check out the full album in visual format, which I just thought would be kind of fun. So that's the first release of the album. I may have to put that on some of my other socials as well, see if that gets any traction there. But I will hopefully be posting more on the Discord, and maybe I will see you there. If not, hopefully I will see you again at 8 o'clock next Friday, and who knows, random streams in between. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed everything. I had a great time doing this show, and I am out of here.